Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the preamble of the Constitution of India. In the last lecture when I was talking about what is the Constitution, so we have covered that what is the essential feature of Constitution, what is this document, what is the importance of Constitution of India. Okay, so these things we already have covered and discussed. Today we will talk about preamble of the Indian Constitution. Before explaining the preamble of Indian Constitution, I will just take 1 minute to read the whole preamble from the first word to the last word. That is, we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to give to its citizen justice, social, economic, political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity and to promote among them all, fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, we do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. So if you have observed, I have divided this Constitution into 5 parts. That is, the source of Indian Constitution, which is we the people of India. Then the nature of Indian Constitution, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Then what is the objective of the Constitution of India? Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. What is the date when we have adopted, enacted and what is the date? Sorry, not adopted, enacted. What is the date? That is 26th day of November 1949. What we have did? Adopted, enacted and gave to ourselves this Constitution. Okay, so you have to divide this preamble into 5 parts. Firstly, I would request all of you, especially those who are law students or anywhere related to law, or if you are preparing for any competitive exam, to firstly by heart this preamble of the Indian Constitution. This is the key to unlock the Constitution. Okay, so firstly just by heart it. We the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, from first word to last word, just by hearted. This is the first homework for you people. Then to understand the Constitution, to understand the preamble of the Constitution of India better, you have to divide this Constitution into 5 parts. The first is what is the source of the Indian Constitution, that is we the people of India. What is the salient feature or what is the nature of the Constitution of India, that is these 5 keywords. What are these 5 keywords? Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. Then what is the objective of the Constitution of India? The objective is to provide a country which is these 4 things are the objective of Constitution of India: justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. What is the date which is mentioned in the preamble of the Indian Constitution? 26th of November 1949. And then what we have done on this date? We have adopted, enacted and gave to ourselves this Constitution. Okay? Now we will word by word decode what is the preamble of the Indian Constitution. So what is the importance of this word, we the people of India? You just imagine you are opening the Constitution of India, this document which is the fundamental law of the country. And the moment you open this document, the first page is the preamble of the Constitution of India and the first word is we the people of India. ठीक है. This means, the word here means that the ultimate authority in India lies in Indian citizen, we the people of India. ठीक है. So unlike Britain, in India parliament is not sovereign. Okay, in India people are sovereign, we the people of India, we are the ultimate power, we are the ultimate authority. We will decide who will be in the government, who will rule the country for next 5 years. ठीक है. So we are holding this power, we the people of India, and this is not any leader or any party giving to us. No, this power is given to us by the constitution itself. ठीक है. And it's a very good thing about India that we respect to the constitution, है ना. We never deviate from constitution. So we respect this constitution. That's why still, that is even after 77 or 78 years of independence and making of this Indian constitution, we are still strict to this. Okay. So ultimately we are the sovereign, we have the power, and we are the source of this constitution of India. Coming to the second part of this bifurcation, that is, what is the nature of Indian state? So we the people of India, what kind of a state we are creating? So the constitution and the preamble of the constitution of India is saying that we have solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign. ये जो इंडिया होगा वो सोवरेन होगा, ये जो इंडिया होगा वो सोशलिस्ट होगा, ये जो इंडिया होगा वो सेक्युलर होगा, ये जो इंडिया होगा वो डेमोक्रेटिक होगा, और ये जो इंडिया होगा वो रिपब्लिक होगा. सो वी द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया हैव सोलेमली रिजॉल्व्ड, हम लोग प्रॉमिस कर रहे हैं अपने आप से, दैट वी विल कॉन्स्टिट्यूट इंडिया इनटू sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Now one by one let's understand what is the meaning of each one of these words. That is the nature of Indian constitution. Coming to the first one, sovereign. Sovereign क्या है? Sovereign means the ultimate authority, है ना? The supreme authority. Nobody is above that. So in India, thankfully, we are sovereign. India will take its own decision. There is no body which will give direction to the India, which will control India, or which will regulate India. No, India will regulate herself. ठीक है? So we are the ultimate authority here. So whenever I have discussed this concept in my class, a obvious question comes at the end of the students that, ma'am, how are we sovereign? Because we follow UN, United Nations rules, instructions, convention, whatsoever they pass, है ना? So we are obliged by those things. So how come we are sovereign? The answer to this is we are complying, or we are following the general guidelines or whatever it is. Any kind of rule, regulation, order, act, जो भी हो रहा है, we are following. India is following UN because India is a party of UN. India is a signatory country of the UN, and that too, India has given consent, है ना? India is a signatory country of UN, that is a member country of a UN by its own choice, है ना? So it is not like India has surrendered before UN. Otherwise, on the contrary, India has said that okay, we will follow UN for just establishing a better world, है ना? So it is not like India is subordinate to UN, or India is inferior to UN. No, we are only following UN, or we are only agreeing to UN because we want to. The moment India decides we are quitting UN, no one is here to stop us. No one is here to say that no, India cannot do. ठीक है? So in this way we are sovereign. And when, see, the thing is we have to maintain a peaceful global order. For that, the countries come together, they join a global platform which has some kind of power, which can give us better world, peaceful world. So it's okay to, follow or be a member of such things so that we can contribute to the global peace. So that's that thing. It's not like India is subordinate to UN. And for this, I think it is very important to mention this fact here, that when India was asking for independence from British rule, British Crown was saying that okay, we will give you independent, but we will give you dominion status. है ना? India has denied that we don't want even dominion status. We want full independence. That is, if you know that still we say dominion of Australia. So still dominion is nothing. It is not like that is in control of British Crown. No, it is just that still their head is monarch. है ना? So Australia has its own parliament, own government, everything. They have their elections, everything. But still, that head of the state is still monarch. In our country, head of the state is president, who is elected and nominated. It's not like it's some monarch. So India said, no, we don't even want dominion status. We know that we will have our independent country, we will have election, we will have everything. But still, we want this title of full independence, not even dominion. है ना? So India is a sovereign in that sense. Then India is a socialist country. What is this socialist? So I cannot explain this here to the length because it is very big concept. But just for a basic understanding, what is socialist? So basically there are three models of economy: capitalist, communist, socialist. Okay. If we talk about USA, it's capitalist economy. If we talk about China, it's communist economy. If we talk about India, we are socialist. ऐसा क्यों भाई? हम capitalist और communist क्यों हैं? क्यों नहीं हैं? So the reason is, see, capitalist country means that in that country, the government or the state does not interfere too much into the economic policies or into the market. So there is a limited interference of the state into the market. है ना? The state can only play a role of protector or facilitator. It cannot make all the rules and regulations and policy and schemes, and it cannot control the market. And that is capitalist form of economy. So the good thing is, the people who are establishing industry, who are doing hard work, who are doing some kind of business, they can reap the profit of their hard work. So if they are getting 1 crore, government will not come and say, you give us 90 lakh, you keep just 10 lakh, and this 90 crore we will use for welfare state. ये नहीं होता है कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी में, है ना? सो टैक्सेस आर नॉट दैट हाई, गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेशन इज बिट कंट्रोल एंड ऑल्सो बिट लिमिटेड, एंड ऑल्सो दैट there are no heavy taxes or regulations for establishing company and like this. And when we talk about communist country, communist state, it is vice versa. That is, in communist country, government says that we are the owner of resources. We are the owner of public resources. That is, if there are 5 person, A has generated profit of 1 crore, B has generated profit of 80 lakhs, C has generated profit of 60 lakhs, D has generated profit of 10 lakhs, and E is just a daily wage labor. ठीक है? Now in communist country, what the country will do? It will frame such kind of policies that it will take the surplus from the people and will try to distribute this public resource. Now we are saying public resource to this, that is earned by these individuals. This will distribute this public resource among the people equally. So it is not like एकदम equal कर देगा, but the state has full control over public resources, है ना, and it will distribute it. तो ऐसा कम्युनिस्ट में होता है. It is not like word to word, but this is the main approach. Okay, Now, if we talk about socialist, why are we socialist? Because this was the decision of Nehru's government that we will neither adopt capitalist model nor this communist model, but we will be a blend of both, है ना, because we want development also. So that's why we have to also adopt some of the features of capitalist economy. At the same hand, we have to work on poverty alleviation, we have to work on development, infrastructure building, and these kind of things. So we have to communist also, है ना, we have to take care of our people. And at that time of India, India was facing extreme poverty. ठीक है. So with this objective, what Nehru said, we will just adopt a mixed economy, है ना. That's why socialist economy, neither capitalist nor communist, but socialist, blend of both the economy, mixed economy. Then we have democratic. Democratic means, I will always say Abraham Lincoln, rule by the people, for the people, of the people. That is, India will have general elections. Indian people, Indian citizens will vote for their own representatives. Those representatives will go to the parliament, will choose their leader, and that leader will be the prime minister. ठीक है? So in this way we will be democratic country. And yes, so democratic में it's like everybody will be having a right to vote. This is our constitutional right, but not those people below 18 years of age. क्यों ऐसा किया? 18 years of age वालों को, नीचे वालों को क्यों हम लोग ने right नहीं दी? The reason is law always law always thinks that a minor is innocent and he doesn't have that much of maturity. So how can a law give this decisive call or decisive vote to a person who is minor, है ना, below 18 years of age? And we know, you know this term निब्बा निब्बी ना. अब निब्बा निब्बी के स्टेज में तुम वोट करने तो जा नहीं सकते हो, तो जस्ट वन एलिजिबिलिटी इज देयर, यू जस्ट अटेन 18 years of age. कुछ लोग उसके बाद भी निब्बा निब्बी ही रहते हैं, बट ठीक है, उनको छोड़ो. तो आफ्टर 18 years of age you can vote. So in this way we are democratic country and we are republic also. That is, we have a elected and nominated head. ठीक है, we have elected head because we have a process which is called as electoral college for the election of president. ठीक है, so in this way we have a elected and appointed head. And there is one more thing. There is a difference between these words: elected, appointed, nominated. ठीक है, तो you cannot use these three words synonymously. अलग अलग है तीनों. So you be very cautious while using any of these words. So in this way we are republic. So these are the 5 features of the Constitution of India. It is establishing India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Now coming to the third part. The first was source of the Indian Constitution. The second one is feature of Indian Constitution. The third one is objective of Indian Constitution. So the objective of Indian Constitution is justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. तो हमें एक ऐसा इंडियन स्टेट बनाना है जो सोवरेन हो, सोशलिस्ट हो, सेक्युलर हो, डेमोक्रेटिक हो, रिपब्लिक हो, और ये जो स्टेट है वो प्रोवाइड कर सके, है ना, उसका जो एम हो वो जस्टिस देना हो. is to provide justice, is to bring equality, is to have liberty and also fraternity. ठीक है, तो what kind of justice this preamble is talking about? Justice which is social, economical and political. सिर्फ political justice नहीं देना है. That's why we will not only have fundamental right. No. Preamble is saying justice of all kind. पॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिक, सोशल. इसलिए सोशल और इकोनॉमिक जस्टिस के लिए वी हैव चैप्टर 4 ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, दैट इज डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी. ठीक है, उसके बाद है लिबर्टी. तो दिस preamble is saying that liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, worship. You know, this democracy will not be anything if we will not be having this kind of liberty. Liberty of thought हो, expression हो, belief हो, that is religion, and faith हो, worship हो. तो इस kind की liberty चाहिए. That is, a person may express his feeling towards religion or any kind of thing, politics, किसी भी चीज का express कर सके, जो सोचना हो सोच सके, तभी तो इनोवेटिव आइडियाज आएंगे ना. ठीक है. तो दिस काइंड ऑफ लिबर्टी preamble is talking about. Then equality of status and opportunity. बहुत inequality already हो चुकी है. Still we have income inequality. Like top people are earning almost 70 to 80% of the wealth of India, and you know, these poor people are only having the rest 20 to 30%. जो भी है डेटा देख लेना. That is inequality report. ठीक है. तो क्या है, इक्वालिटी देना है, स्टेटस का एंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी. एवरी पर्सन शुड हैव इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी टू प्रेजेंट हिज और हर कैंडिडेचर. ठीक है. देयर शुड नॉट बी बायसनेस और डिस्क्रिमिनेशन अगेंस्ट कास्ट, रिलीजन, सेक्स, जेंडर, प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ. ये सब नहीं होना चाहिए. इक्वालिटी ऑफ स्टेटस. स्टेटस मीन मी ब्राह्मण इज एज इक्वल एज सम शूद्रा. इक्वालिटी ऑफ स्टेटस. ठीक है. And then of opportunity. We all are equally eligible to apply for any of the posts for which we qualify. So this kind of equality preamble is talking about. And then fraternity. Fraternity is very, 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 very important. Why? Because India is a so diverse country. We have differences of religion. We have different religion. Hindu, Muslim, Christianity. We have Parsis. We have Punjabis. We have these kind of religions. ठीक है. Then we have different languages. तेलुगु, कन्नड़ा, हिंदी, बुंदेलखंडी, बघेलखंडी, असमी, बंगाली, मलयाली, तमिल, राजस्थानी, है ना. तो कितनी लैंग्वेजेस हैं हमारे पास. हमारे पास कल्चर अलग है. सो द कल्चर ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया इज totally different from the culture of South India, and again totally different from the rest of the India. Okay, so for our all state we have different folk dances, we have different attires, we have different traditions, we have different practices, we have different customs, we have different puja part ceremonies. हम सबका अलग अलग है. ठीक है. So not just the religion but also our culture differs. Also our region develop. कोई केरला में रह रहा है, कोई वहां पे बिहार में रह रहा है, कोई लेह में रह रहा है. So it's like our regions are also different, and then also our societal background, social background also differs. Unfortunately, that caste system or whatever, but there's a difference. Now the thing is, if this element of fraternity, that is feeling of, you know, that brotherhood, है ना, if that is not there, how we will survive? That is, we should have mutual respect. If I am respecting Pongal, so I also I also expect the others to respect other festival like Baisakhi और दिवाली. So you know, एक दूसरे को कल्चर को रिस्पेक्ट करो, ट्रेडिशन को रिस्पेक्ट करो, because that is India ultimately. Okay. So fraternity assuring the dignity of individual, and when we will do this fraternity, so each individual will feel dignified, because no community has any less rich culture, any less rich heritage. All the community is coming from different background, diverse background. They all are very rich. It's only we have to explore it and we have to respect it. ठीक है. So fraternity assuring the dignity of individual and the unity and integrity of nation. So finally it all comes to integrity of the nation. We all are India. So integrity रहना चाहिए, unity and integrity of the nation. And for this we need that fraternity, है ना? That we should all may develop that feeling of belongingness, this one. And then finally this date. that in our Constituent Assembly this 26th day of November, हम ये 26th day of November 1949 को finally हमने अपना Constitution बना लिया. And we started this task from the moment we got independence. So our Constituent Assembly took 2 years, 11 months, 18 days to complete this whole Constitution. It's just 12 or 13 days short of 3 years. Okay, so like Rome was not built in a day, this Constitution was not built in a day, and that too it has been made, it has been drafted, created by high intellectuals. So जो भी word लिखा है, whatever word is mentioned in our Constitution of India, it has value, it has background. It's not like somebody is writing anything. For each provisions, for each articles, for each concept, for each doctrines, there were high debates, there were multiple debates, there were debates after debates in our Constituent Assembly. So everything which we are seeing in our Constitution of India has been put there after a long debate, after a long thought, after thoughts, and with due care and caution. ठीक है, तो हल्के में नहीं लेना है. Everything is very 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 worthy to be there. And then in our Constituent Assembly this 26th day में हमने कर लिया hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves. हमने 3 चीज की है. Adopt भी किया है, हमने enact भी कर लिया है. So few articles of the Indian Constitution came into force right on 26th November 1949. And the rest of the Constitution came into force on 26th January 1950. And give to ourselves. हमने finally अपने आप को ये Constitution दे दिया. ठीक है? So this is the Constitution. I just noticed that I have not discussed this word secular, है ना? When I was discussing the feature of Indian Constitution or nature of the Indian Constitution. So I have discussed sovereign, socialist, democratic republic, but not secular. Secular means that in Indian context, respect for all religion, protection for all religion. ठीक है? So the state will not have any religion of her own. In our case, we refer India as she, है ना? For example, Russia is a he land. India is a she land. You go and search the reason why it is. Anyways, so secular क्या है? Unlike Western concept, India's concept for secularism is very progressive. That is, it is not a clear-cut division between the state and religion. Rather, that the state will equally respect all the religion and equally protect all the religion. With this, the discussion of over the preamble of Indian Constitution is over. And yes, there is one more thing. So right after this enactment of this Constitution of India, there were cases where this question was asked to the courts whether this preamble is a part of Indian Constitution or not. So in the first case, that is Re-Berubari case, Supreme Court said that this preamble is not a part of Indian Constitution, है ना? So the moment you say it is not the part of the Indian Constitution, the value reduce, ठीक है? But in Keshwanand Bharti case, Supreme Court has said that preamble is the part of the Constitution of India, and actually it is a key to unlock the Constitution of India, or it is the key to understand the real principles or underlying principles which are there in the Constitution of India. So with this, that's our discussion on preamble of the Indian Constitution. Thank you so much.